Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Boomer Bunker. I am the Duchess. Speaking on behalf of John Domingo, everything we say or discuss on this show is for entertainment purposes. If you disagree with anything either of us says on this show, and you're not operating motor vehicle or under the influence of alcohol or narcotics, please feel free to tell us your thoughts in the chat. If you're listening to this as a downloaded podcast file, you can write to us at boomer.bunker@gmail.com or tweet us at boomer_bunker on X. My advice is to look at the world we live in, realize you complaining to us about it isn't fixing anything, and then continue on with your life. If anything we say during the show offends you, please feel free to watch a different stream, shut the podcast off, or smash your device with a hammer. Boomer Bunker is not liable for damages to equipment by choosing the latter. If you have made it this far into the show and have decided you can live with these terms, then by all means, give your balls a tug, slap yourself in the face a few times, grab a cup of whatever pisses you off, and please enjoy the show.
All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready? I'm going to start a podcast that has no focus, and it'll take up an inordinate amount of time.
First up, she's the queen of sarcasm, the empress of eye rolls. This Jersey gal's infectious giggle will always make you smile. The glamorous agitator with style and sass. And her sidekick, he is an old man with the energy, focus, and reading ability of a first grader on a sugar rush. Together, they will dissect world issues, slice through the social justice shenanigans, and make you laugh while the world burns. Here are your hosts, the Duchess and Domingo.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to the Boomer Bunker. Of course, I'm John Domingo, and my lovely co-host over here, Captain Gigglepuss. Now, people think that I add your laugh.
No, I do it.
Like on cue.
I know, I hate it. It makes me laugh because it's such an appropriate drop.
Such a Gigglepuss. All right, so as you join the show today, everybody, and we love having you here live. Yeah, the Duchess's mic does work.
Yes, it does.
She didn't come screaming in here on two wheels, and then we had to fix everything.
Yes,
but that's old news.
It's all fixed.
I have to level with the audience. I'm having a moment. All right, I'm not feeling well. I might be getting the flu. My ears are ringing. I feel sick in my stomach. And if you see, where is it? If you see this.
Oh, no.
That means I have to go to the little boys' room.
Someone has to poop immediately.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyhow.
All right. Thanks for the warning.
But I'm here. And I've set up the show. I was talking to Duchess earlier that I got a bunch of clips and then everything was ready to go. And then I looked at everything. I tried to organize it and I just looked at it and said, fuck it. We're just going to do it live. I don't have the mental capacity to sit down and figure this out. So we're just going to jam through this. Take the camera with you. You'll go viral. Here's the funny thing. Again, here we go. So I'm watching the TikTok.
Oh, no, not the TikToks.
The TikTok.
Yes.
And this is why it can't go away. So there's a guy on there. He kind of looks like me, but younger. Probably in his 30s. Brown beard, round face, chubby fellow.
Right.
And he says, I haven't shit in 11 days. And I went,
my goodness.
Oh,
That's
my
bad.
God. You poor man. So with that, as
He's full.
He takes the cap off of those things you get from the drugstore, that drink that you drink when it opens, it like empties out your colon before you get a
like that Colay stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
And while he's sitting there, he drinks 2 whole bottles.
Oh my God.
Of that, and then opens up a bag of prunes and starts eating prunes.
No, my friend.
And then he says, I'll be back. The next thing you see, he's in the bathroom.
4 days later.
I don't know how long. He's in the bathroom, and I can hear he's got water, which is what I have right now. And you can hear it squirting into the toilet. not one video, not two videos.
No.
I counted 4. He's like, back again. And
That's
every time
disgusting.
it sounds like someone's got a super soaker shooting into the
Well,
toilet.
he ate prunes and 2 bottles of that empty out juice. That's not. One bottle would have been fine if he just let it work. But the problem is it takes a little bit of time to perk and work its way through.
I was fascinated.
Oh, John.
And I thought to myself,
Ugh.
would that be good content?
Is this what we're talking about? This is what we open the show with? This guy shitting on camera?
Listen, you know me. I will approach any topic. No topic is too big. No topic is too gross. No topic is too whatever. I'll talk about anything.
No, it's so gross.
So as I was thinking about the show today, I was watching. Now they're coming out with these confirmation hearings. They're doing them like 2 at a time. They can't even keep up. There was Kash Patel was going on the same time as Tulsi Gabbard was going on.
They had Bobby Kennedy in for one more too, I think.
They did? They had him back?
I thought they brought him back for a second time.
I did not know that. All right, so we're going to get into some of that. But I realized that America is the amazing reality show. Like everybody's watching. We can't get enough. So I don't know. So anyhow, as I was going through this and I was watching the people grill my girl Tulsi Gabbard, I wanted to come through I wanted to go through the screen and like throttle.
Oh, we know you love your gal Tulsi.
I do love listen, I love her because I find her honest. I find her refreshing. I find her where she doesn't take, she'll take on any topic. And she looks amazing in that white suit.
There you go. There you go.
Amazing.
We're going to close with that, but that's really what opened.
Hey, if you can get all moist over Speaker of the House.
Well, not really him. More like Mike Rowe, but.
Okay.
But Johnson's not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. If you can get all moist over him, I can go over Tulsi.
Well, Bruce also agrees with you.
Tulsi is hot. She is hot. So as she surfs and she looks good in a bikini. Seen all the pictures.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
So here's what this is. And they should just take the confirmation hearings off. Although, you know what? No, let's not do that because I love to watch the people make an ass out of themselves. All right. He says, if you like dipshits, I don't know what dipshits you're talking about.
I think he's meaning Tulsi.
Oh, she doesn't like Tulsi? Kick him out.
I'm not kicking out. Absolutely not. No one gets kicked out.
We'll get into another boring segment, as my co-host called it. We'll get into that a little later.
Oh, he says,
so anyhow, here's what happens. The Democrats got to come in there and they have to attack because let's be honest, the American people have made a mandate that we want Donald Trump to come in here and fix this shit. And the way to fix this shit is to just tear it down.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Exactly.
And what did he do? He came in here and he's doing everything that I wanted him to do. Everything that I wanted him to do. So now the left, they have decided that what a bunch of crybabies. Everything he does, whether it's right or wrong, whether they got the facts right or wrong, it doesn't matter. As soon as he makes a decision, I heard Ben Shapiro say today, all that he has to do is say, you know what? Air is amazing. And these fucking leftists would hold their breath until they died. So they go after Tulsi Gabbard. And the first thing, they can't stand the fact that she was, I don't want to say a supporter, but she was not she understood what Eric Snowden did. Now, Eric Snowden was working for the government.
Yeah.
And what he found out was the government was spying on all of us. Behind the scenes, nobody knew. They were getting all our information. And what he did was he said, I'll get all the receipts. And he just put it out there. Now, what he did was he broke the law. Okay? He did break the law. But there was nothing really that a whistleblower could do in that situation. So this is what happened. Obama wanted to have him executed, and everybody on the left wanted to, I guess left and right, they all wanted him executed. Mm-hmm. They wanted him arrested. He fled to Hawaii, and now he's in Russia.
Okay.
And he took millions and millions of pages of documents he took.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did was he alerted the American people that we were all being spied on.
Yes.
Which is against the Constitution and against the oath of office that they all took. So two things can be right at the same time. Yes, he broke the law, but he also let us all know that these motherfuckers are spying on us. Mm-hmm. They're spying on their own people, which they're not allowed to do, but they're doing it anyhow because they think the law doesn't apply to them.
Because it doesn't.
Okay.
Unless you fall out of favor.
So my issue is this. If you're going to say that he's a crook, where are the people that were stealing our information that's against the Constitution, that were breaking our rules and our laws? Where are they? We can't see them. So what's going on right now is Robert Kennedy, Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, Pete, what's his name?
Hegseth. These
are all people to go in there and start rooting out the deep state, going in there and start pulling out the people that are doing all these shenanigans. And they are flipping out. They are freaking out.
Well, because they don't need the status quo being shaken up.
Okay. So who do you want to start with? You want to start with Robert F. Kennedy?
Yeah.
Patel?
Let's start with Bobby, because I need him put away so we can clean up with the other people.
All right. So Bobby Kennedy goes in, and everybody's pissed off. They're all pissed off at Bobby.
The Dems are all mad because now he's not friends with them anymore. Wah.
So the first thing happens is before before he even gets into the hearing, his cousin, Caroline Kennedy, whose father's head exploded like a pumpkin in Dallas, she comes on, and this is what she starts with.
Dear Senators, throughout the past year, people have asked for my thoughts about my cousin Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his presidential campaign. I did not comment, not only because I was serving in a government position as United States Ambassador to Australia, but because I have never wanted to speak publicly about my family members and their challenges.
But
we are a close generation of 28 cousins who have been through a lot together. We know how hard it's been, and we are always there for each other. But now that Bobby has been nominated by President Trump to be Secretary of Health and Human Services, a position that would put him in charge of the health of the American people, I feel an obligation to speak out. Overseeing the FDA, the NIH, the CDC, and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, agencies that are charged with protecting the most vulnerable among us, is an enormous responsibility and one that Bobby is unqualified to fill. He lacks any relevant government, financial, management, or medical experience.
Where does that come from? He's a lawyer that litigated against a lot of stuff.
There you go. Bruce says nothing like a loving family to have your back.
Yeah. All right.
So she wasn't pointing a gun at him.
Well, she is. Listen, he needs her like he needs a shot in the head.
Hey-o.
So here's my point. That they're bringing out all the big guns. Now, where was she? Why couldn't she speak before? Because she was the ambassador to Australia. How did she get that job?
Who cares?
Because she was a good Democrat. She was a good soldier.
Yeah, of course. Because they need the Democrat. They need the Kennedy name.
Right.
Because people still think that's a thing.
All right.
And that it's the boomer generation. Because it's not us. Gen X doesn't give a shit.
All right. So let's dive back into the Kennedys a little bit. Let's go back to Daddy.
A little. Right.
Joe Kennedy.
Oh, Big Daddy. Okay.
How did he make his money?
Oh, he's a fucking criminal, man. He's a bootlegger.
He was a bootlegger.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did all that.
All the crime. Yeah.
He got his son in. The way he won the election was he got the mob to fix elections in Illinois. I mean, he had the mob working for him.
I'm sure he legitimately won.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then
Wink, wink.
when he won, the mob was like, okay, we're ready to go. And, we got a president. We got ourselves a president. And what did he do? He sicked Bobby Kennedy on the mafia, and he was making their lives miserable. So what did they do? They had
shot them both.
Yeah. Shot them both.
Good times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where we're coming from. Now she says that he has no experience, all that shit that she's saying.
He is a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what he wants to do. He wants to make the food we eat healthier. He wants to make sure that the medicines we're taking don't harm us more than they cure us.
And they do, yeah.
Okay. So last night, I said, how can these people be so upset that he wants to make things healthier, food healthier? And so
why.
On X, and then all the morons come out, especially Soft Weekly. So Soft Weekly says,
I wish we had him on. That would have been a fun discussion right now.
He'd be drunk and slurring and talking.
That'd make it even more fun.
No, it's not. It's like having a retarded Bob on the show.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So here's what happens. He says, "Oh, so you're for more regulations?" No, Soft. Let's not have any regulations. Okay. Let's just let them cook our French fries in motor oil. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than vegetable oil. And you put enough salt on them, we'll take the oil taste out of it. Why don't we do that? Why don't we test the medications? We just say, hey, here you go. Put this in your arm. And a few of them drop dead. I don't know. Maybe 500 or 1,000 drop dead. What's the big deal?
Right.
So again, we're not saying there's not going to be fucking people are so stupid. They just want to argue with you. They think they got you. Oh, so I guess you're for more regulations? Yeah, no, I want regulations that actually make sense. That's what I would like. All right. Why is it that the same company that makes fucking Fruit Loops in other countries has like 10 ingredients? Our Fruit Loops has like 40 ingredients.
It does.
What's that?
Because we're clearly playing a part in all of the manufacturers getting a little piece of the pie.
The other thing is they've taken all the fiber out of the food. Why? Fiber makes you full. And if you don't have the fiber, then you want to eat more and more, or you can eat more and more. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. They want you to,
consume.
Yeah, you need a bowl of Fruit Loops. Now you just take a bowl of the Fruit Loops on the counter or on the table, and you keep pouring Fruit Loops into you're out of milk and milk in to get some more Fruit Loops. And next thing you know, half a box is gone. And you're still hungry. It's like Chinese food. Yeah. You know what? You go in, you eat it, and about a half an hour later, you want a pizza. Kind of like that. Pharma and commerce work hand in hand. Absolutely.
But Sparky wants you to make Fruit Loops great again.
Who doesn't?
I haven't eaten Fruit Loops. My mother never bought junk cereal, so I never had it. Majority of these cereals.
Sugary Cheerios. That's all they are. Same thing.
Right.
Back in the day, all we had was Cheerios. And you put Cheerios in a bowl, and you took a couple spoonfuls of sugar and sprinkled it all over it, and you poured your milk in. That's how you had your sweetened cereal. That's how it worked back in the day. They didn't put the sugar in for you. Maybe that's
probably why I don't like cereal.
All right.
I'm not a fan.
Besides
anyway,
Duchess,
not that it shouldn't be full of garbage, but yeah.
Right. So, and then the vaccines. When we were growing up, there's only a couple. All right. You didn't have the measles vaccine. It wasn't a mumps vaccine. It wasn't a chickenpox vaccine. I think there was tuberculosis, polio.
I thought there was MMR, measles, mumps, rubella.
Not when I was growing up.
I don't mind them developing vaccines that work, not just, your baby's born and you just stuff them full of fucking chemicals.
Right. Right now, when your baby's born, the first thing they do is they give it a Hep B shot.
No.
Hepatitis B. That's the only way you get that is it's a sexually transmitted disease.
I was going to say, isn't that through the IV? Yeah.
Right. So
the measles were a thing, though. Sparky agrees.
What they did at one point, I forget what year it was. Measles was the thing. Yeah, I know. I had measles. I had the measles. I had the mumps. I had the chickenpox. I had the 3-peat. I had them all.
I had chickenpox. Yeah, it was awful. Oh, it was the worst.
I don't even remember. I have no idea. I don't remember anything. All I know is I still have scars from where they were. My mom said I had them so bad I had them in my mouth.
Itchy. Terrible. Yeah.
So now you can't even ask the question. You can't even ask why all of a sudden do we have so many cases of autism? Where did that start? When did that start? We didn't have
It's
that.
convenient. It seems to be very convenient. When
Why-
you shove a bunch of chemicals in babies, they're going to react.
Do we have this issue with psoriasis, and we have this problem with kids being, HD, AD, and having other issues? Where is this coming from? You can't even ask. All Bobby Kennedy wants to do is put these vaccines, shots, whatever, through testing, where you test them, double-blind study, placebo, and see what's going on. See if they're safe, that's fine. Let's test them. There's not one of them that's been tested safe, and there's not one of them that says, hey, by the way, they work for everybody, because they don't. There's always side effects. You see it. You're watching a TV commercial, and they go, hey, try Cox-a-lot. Here are the side effects.
Anal leakage, bleeding, hemorrhaging from your eyes. Yeah, great stuff.
Right.
And if you're allergic to this, tell your doctor. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So he wants to, and how can you be upset about that? But they are. The people that gave him the most shit during that confirmation hearing, if you go to that website where it tells you who's sponsoring them.
Oh, yeah. Who owns a lot of these people? A lot of pharmaceutical companies.
Guess
Bernie and Warren, top two.
Guess who else gets money from the pharmaceutical company? Caroline Kennedy and her family.
Oh, of course.
Imagine that. So
I'm sure there's plenty of Republicans that are getting it too. You got to you got to pay everybody. That's what they do.
Two right wing, left wing, same bird. I get it. Jody says it must be something in the chicken nuggets, and it's going to cost. Yeah. So again, the people that in office, they don't care about what we think, because we're not the ones that get them elected. They need money. Money comes from lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
They do the lobbyist bidding.
That's right.
That's how this works.
Pay to play, baby. Pay to play.
Until it doesn't.
Whoever has the most money wins.
Right.
And it's never us.
So
the American people never win.
Well, you know who Bobby Kennedy's running mate was when he was running for
Shanahan, right? Nicole Shanahan. Is Nicole?
Yeah. I think it might be.
I think it's Nicole. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I should have numbered these.
Sparky says, "Follow the dollar."
Follow the dollar. Yeah.
It's not wrong.
And
all the Dems on that panel were paid for by pharma, is what Bob says. Yeah. Yeah.
I could have sworn I had it here.
Ruh-roh. And then Sparky says, babies these days are only pure blood for the first 5 minutes of their lives. You're not kidding. You're not kidding. They just stuff them full of vaccines. It's awful. And you notice is the doctors will, because they get kickbacks.
Right.
Everybody gets money in this game. And the only people who lose again is us. So either your baby gets sick or there's a problem, or I remember my girls got theirs. They had crazy fevers for a couple days. It was uncomfortable. And, I'm not against vaccines. Googlehead says, I love polio. Of course you want to space them out. If anything, you don't need to give them 4 or 5 different vaccines at the same time. It's nuts. They walked into my daughter's room with like 4 different needles, and they just bopped them all in. Had I thought or knew better, at the time, there would have been some more discussion. But
and then you go home, the baby's running a fever for a day.
Yep.
And they go, it's just normal. Just give them Tylenol.
It's not normal. Yeah,
it's not normal. The body's trying to fight whatever you just gave them. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Duchess. I might just say, can we all give Duchess a round of applause for
riffing
why I went and found, because I couldn't find it. I must not have downloaded it. I went to the Twitter.
The Twitters.
I went to the Twitter, and here she is. It's Nicole Shanahan, and she's
she's not fucking around.
She's very, very upset
because she holds a grudge. I like her.
Well, she basically paid for 2 Senate seats in Georgia, and now they're going to vote against her, Bobby.
Her Bobby, yeah.
Hey everyone, tomorrow is a pivotal moment in our nation's history. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, RFK will sit in front of the Senate Finance Committee for his confirmation hearing to be our nation's next Secretary of Health and Human Services. I urge everyone to call their U.S. senators over the following days and demand they vote yes on Bobby's nomination. He is more than qualified. He's proven, principled, and prepared to lead. I'll share a list below of key senators. If they represent your state, they need to hear from you. If they don't, please call your own senator and ask them to vote yes. We need as many votes as we can get. So this hasn't been widely reported, but in 2020, I cut large checks to Chuck Schumer to help Democrats flip 2 Senate seats in Georgia from red to blue.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate that.
All right, listen, I understand, but
she was a good Dem at the time.
She has woke up and she sees what's going on here.
Right.
And she's coming back. So let's not crucify her for this.
All right.
But wait to hear this, because this bitch is savage.
She is.
Candidates I helped elect, Senator Raphael Warnock and Senator Ossoff, please know I will be watching your votes very closely. I will make it my personal mission that you lose your seats in the Senate if you vote against the future health of America's children. And more than that, I also want to say to Senators Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, Tom Tillis, James Lankford, Cory Booker, John Fetterman, Bernie Sanders, and Catherine Cortez Masto, this is a bipartisan message, and it comes directly from me. While Bobby may be willing to play nice, I won't. If you vote against him, I will personally fund challengers to primary you in your next election, and I will enlist hundreds of thousands to join me. Big Pharma and Big Ag have exploited us for far too long. It ends now. You're either on the side of transparency and accountability, or you are standing in the way. The choice is yours. Please choose wisely.
Love her.
Savage.
Love her.
She's like, Bobby plays nice, but I won't. I'm like, but that's what happens when you have a lot of money and you can put your money where your mouth is. Like, you can absolutely say that and 100% back that. There's no threats there. Normally,
I would be like, what's up with this bitch? But I love this savageness. I love it.
Yeah.
Look, common sense is coming back.
There's another one.
I know everybody hates it. But Scott Presler is going to do what he can to primary these dicks, as well as don't leave me hanging, Budweiser. What the hell?
I think that was as well as, I guess that might have been the end of the sentence. But yeah, Scott Presler, he definitely helped flip Pennsylvania. He had a key part in that. He said it was a typo. So, so as well. So yeah. But Scott Presler is they were going, it's funny to watch people go after him on X, and his responses are just so beautifully done. I just love I follow him. Like, as soon as I saw him on there, I was like, I'm going to follow you. He's a lot of fun. So very knowledgeable.
Okay. So now we get to the day. It's time. Bobby Kennedy comes in. He sits down. Behind him, he has Cheryl Hines, his wife. Behind her is Megyn Kelly. Just one hot chick after another.
Right. He's still painful as fuck to listen to.
All right, here we go. Warning. Where did it go? Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Warning.
Bobby Kennedy voice alert.
Say something about what you first said. When I launched my campaign, it was about uniting Americans, Democrats and Republicans. There's no issue that should unite us more than this chronic health epidemic. There's no such thing as Republican children or Democratic children. These are our kids. 66% of them are damaged. I know what a healthy kid looks like because I had so many of them in my family. I didn't know anybody with a food allergy growing up, peanut allergy. Why do 5 of my kids have allergies? Why are we seeing these explosions in diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, neurological diseases, depression, all of these things that are related to toxics in the environment? Why can't we just agree with each other to put differences about so many issues, intractable issues aside, and say, we're going to end this? I don't think anybody is going to be able to do this like I have because of my peculiar experience, because I've litigated against these agencies. When you litigate against them, you get a PhD in corporate capture and how to unravel it. I've written 6 books about these agencies. I know a lot about them and I know how to fix it. And there's nobody who will fix it the way that I do because I'm not scared of vested interests. I don't care. I'm not here because I want a position or a job. I have a very good life and a happy family. This is something I don't need. I want to do this because we're going to fix it. And the other thing is we are attracting now a caliber of people to HHS like never before in history. And they're entrepreneurs, they're disruptors, they're innovators of immense talent that are walking away, many of them from growing concerns. They're not coming there for position. They're coming there because they want to save our country. And they're from across the political spectrum. And all these Democrats are opposed to me for partisan issues. They used to be my friends, agreed with me on all the environmental issues that I've been working on for my whole career. Now they're against me because anything that President Trump does, any decision he makes, has to be lampooned, derided, discredited, marginalized, vilified.
Not wrong.
It's not wrong.
Painful to listen to, though. Still.
Very painful. Sorry about that. But, again, it's not his fault. Now, before, if you made fun of his voice, people on the left, boy, they would have a fit. Now, all
it's a Kennedy. Yeah.
There are all these liberals in there going, I don't understand. They're all doing the Bobby Kennedy voice.
It's like Bill Clinton with the quaver in that voice. Yeah.
I'm scared of Hillary. She's a killer.
She'll get me taken out. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I still think now, granted, some things may be taken out of church, so to speak, but like sometimes they repeat the things back. I'm like, man, that sounds dumb. That sounds so dumb. It sounds bad, but like
so
clearly no vaccines is not smart, but yeah.
Look at all the people that were just going right after him. And the other thing is they ask a question, he starts to talk, and they're like, that's not the answer I want. If you don't give me the answer I want, I'm going to talk.
Yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no.
So here we go. Elizabeth Warren. She took $800,000 from Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders, $1.5 million from Big Pharma. Mm-hmm. This other guy, I don't know his name.
He was obnoxious today. Yesterday too. He's the guy with the lisp, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I want to slap him.
They got him cheap. Wait till he sees what the other people are getting. He's going to be pissed. Other guy got $32,000 from Big Pharma, $62,000 from Big Pharma. All these Democrats got all this money from Big Pharma. I could not remember Elizabeth Warren's name because all I could think of was Hiawatha.
I saw that at one point during the hearings that Bobby Kennedy threw it back at Bernie. Oh my God. Yeah. So AI image of Hiawatha there.
I love it.
Did you see the one with her doing like a war cry? There was one with her going, ooh.
We'll get
I was like, oh no. That's so bad.
Here's Elizabeth Warren going after Bobby Kennedy. And you would think that she would get smarter. Remember, this woman here lied about her heritage, said she was a Native American. Trump trolled her so much, she went and took a test. One of those you spit in a tube tests.
Yep.
She hot-tubed in a tube, and when it came back, she found out she was like
1/32nd, I think.
1,032nd of America. I am as much of a Native American. You're
like right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So now, Hiawatha, she goes after him, and I just love this.
I'm asking about fees from suing drug companies. Will you agree not to do that?
You're asking me to not sue drug companies,
no,
and I'm not going to agree to that,
drug
Senator.
Companies as much as you want.
I'm not going to agree to not sue drug companies or anybody.
So let's do a quick count here of how, as Secretary of HHS, if you get confirmed, you could influence every one of those lawsuits. Well, let me start the list. You could publish your anti-vaccine conspiracies, but this time on U.S. government letterhead, something a jury might be impressed by. You could appoint
I
people
don't
to the
understand that.
CDC vaccine panel who share your anti-vax views and let them do your dirty work. You could tell the CDC vaccine panel to remove a particular vaccine from the vaccine schedule. You could remove vaccines from special compensation programs, which would open up manufacturing.
You know what the big word here is? Did you pick it up?
No.
Could.
Vaccine. Could. Oh.
Could. You could. Not
Cool.
saying you
Thanks
are.
for the ideas.
You could. Let me just rip this up a little bit because I love it when he goes after her and she's like, ugh. See if it goes. Oh, come on.
And now you broke it.
I broke Twitter.
Good job, Jamingo. The best kept secret in podcasting. Now it's busted forever.
God damn it. All right. Fuck you all.
All right, fuck it. But yeah, he made her yell. She's like, no, I'm not. You know?
You'll never be confirmed. And it's just a Elizabeth Warren puppet with big farmer's hand up her ass, which is basically what's going on. Okay.
Pretty much. All right. Enough of her. Enough of that dipshit.
I'm done with that one.
I'm totally done with that one. Next.
All right.
Next.
Now we get to go to my girlfriend.
John's
Tulsi.
honey.
How can you not love this woman?
The American people elected Donald Trump as their president.
Hang on one second. Look at that. Look at that suit. Does she not look snazzy in that suit?
Well, it's a power play for sure.
Damn straight it is. All right. I don't want to get every word of this.
American people elected Donald Trump as their president not once, but twice. And yet the FBI and intelligence agencies were politicized by his opponents to undermine his presidency and falsely portray him as a puppet of Putin. Title I of FISA was used illegally to obtain a warrant to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page, using a Clinton campaign-funded false dossier as their so-called evidence. Biden campaign advisor Tony Blinken was the impetus for the 51 former senior intelligence officials' letter dismissing Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation specifically to help Biden win the election. Former DNI.
Look at the faces. Look at the faces of the Democrats. I'm sorry if you're listening to this as a podcast. They're sitting there like someone just fed them a lemon. Their faces are all Mr. Langford, Mr. Morgan.
James Clapper lied to this committee in 2013, denying the existence of programs that facilitated the mass collection of millions of Americans' phone and internet records, yet was never held accountable. Under John Brennan's leadership, the CIA abused its power to spy on Congress, to dodge oversight, lied about doing it until he was caught, and yet has never been held responsible. Under Biden, the FBI abused its power for political reasons to try to surveil Catholics who attend traditional Latin Mass, labeling them as quote-unquote radical traditionalist Catholics.
Radical traditionalist Catholics.
Isn't that what a Catholic is? Like, it's redundant, right?
Well, I'm just saying. And the other thing I'm sure she's probably going to get to is the people that went to school board meetings. They were domestic terrorists because
Pretty much.
they didn't want pornography in the school library, and they didn't want them to try to trans the kids or let the kids, I don't say transition, but they change their genders and
catch the gender change. Yeah.
Right. And not tell the parents.
Personally, just 24 hours after criticized Kamala Harris and her nomination, I was placed on a secret domestic terror watch list called Quiet Skies. Sadly, there are more examples. The bottom line is this must end.
Goddamn straight it must end.
Mm-hmm.
So then she went on for a few things, and then she had this statement, which I love this part. And I think that every one of these guys should have done this for the simple fact that she's not wrong here. And after she's made this statement, they did exactly what she said.
Before I close, I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that'll challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country. Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States, accusing me of being Trump's puppet, Putin's puppet, Assad's puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used against President Trump and failed. The American people elected President Trump with a decisive victory and mandate for change. The fact is, what truly unsettles my political opponents is I refuse to be their puppet.
Damn straight. All right, now let me just say this, Duchess. I like the way that she's got letting her hair go. Look, see how she's letting her hair go gray on the side there? She's got like half a Duchess in the front. And then she's got the thing. What do you think of that look? I like that.
Well, I think that's I think that's the streak she has. I don't think she has that place there. There are people that have like weird pigmentation or lack of pigmentation in their hair, and that just causes that. It looks great. I mean, it's a good look for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
American people.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right. You want me to back out so you can just put her on full screen? I'm not mad. I mean, I don't want to take away from your concentration of Tulsi there.
Too late. I'm already.
You had all day, so trust me, you're fine. You're spent.
No, I just like I said, I can't believe. So then they attack her. They attack anything that Trump rolls out, any person that Trump appoints, and they immediately attack them. When let's see, who was the last one? Kash Patel. Do I have anything on Kash Patel? Here we go. Buckle up, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Kash Patel was he's probably the most qualified to be the director of this. I think it's the CIA. I'll be honest with you, I can't remember what he's the director of, but he wrote some books and he said, that the deep state is there and they are not having any of it. And they were trying to besmirch him, disperch. Anyhow, this is what they said about him.
Besmirch. Yeah.
Besmirch.
FBI.
Been subject to racism.
Ugh,
as an
scummy bugger.
individual.
Look at this crusty old fag.
He is gross. He needs to get put away. Like, please primary his dumb ass out.
Graham, all this snatch that's in Washington and he can't find himself a woman.
God, just get him, dude. He's probably got a kid in his closet tied up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it.
Unfortunately, Senator, yes. I don't want to get into those details with my family here.
Oh, let's get into a few of them. Tell me about it.
Well, if you look at the record from January 6th, where I testified before that committee, because of my personal information being released by Congress, I was subjected to a direct and significant threat on my life. And I put that information in the record. I had to move. In that threat, I was called a detestable, and I'll apologize if I don't get it all right, but it's in the record, a detestable sand nigger who had no right being in this country.
Oh my God.
You should go back to where you came from. You belong with your terrorist home friends. That's what was sent to me. That's just a piece of it. But that's nothing compared to what the men and women in law enforcement face every day. And that's why they have my support.
They tried to paint.
No one interrupted that. Everybody's like, you said the N-word. You notice no one interrupted.
Well, the other thing, you notice that I didn't tell Duchess what was coming because I wanted to get the.
I had not heard that. My father was called that.
Really?
Called that. Mm-hmm.
By your mother?
No, by people. Yeah, no, by friends. So yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. Super sympathetic.
I'm sorry.
You should be. You should be.
Yeah, so that's why I said today, America is the greatest reality show. I mean, you can't get better drama. No matter what side you're on, you got.
Well, that's the fucking sad part. It's a
the
joke.
right side.
Yeah.
Like we were talking today, Tanya Harding is now on Twitter.
So
where
gross.
have you been? So she told me about this. I grabbed the video, and to be honest with you, I haven't watched it yet because as soon as I saw her, I said I got to watch this because I want an honest reaction to see what she actually says because now she's on Twitter.
Hey everyone, I am Tanya Harding, and I am on X. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Happy New Year. Join me there and let's chat it up. Love you. God bless. Bye.
Fuck,
Why?
she's old.
Boy,
She looks like shit.
she hit the wall
Yeah.
at quite a high rate of speed. Yeah, I don't
With
understand.
a bat. Oh wait,
There was
Kerrigan.
someone
That
else
was
that came-
Kerrigan's knee.
You know who else ended up back on
Yeah.
Twitter was Bristol Palin.
Really?
Yeah.
She's back?
She's back. Let me see if I can get her up real quick.
Buttfucker says, it's smart not to stand in front of the van that you're living in. Tanya looks like she lives in a van down by the river.
What's her last name again? Bristol Palin.
Palin. Good old Sarah's daughter, the eldest. The one that
Yeah.
had a baby. Isn't that the one that had the baby Trig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. She did have a baby Trig.
She did.
And she had another one, Anonymy. All right.
God.
Sorry.
Wah, wah.
Here we go.
All right.
I'll be honest with you.
Was she on it and left, or they kick her off, or?
Well, she's back.
Okay.
She's back.
Guess who's back?
So here she is.
Oh,
And
she's looking all rough.
Wow, I have not been on here in a long time. Had to tell you guys a little story. I woke up 9 days ago with a little weird sensation in my face. My mouth was pulling this way and it just felt like a little off. So I went and looked in the mirror. I'm like, wow, this is looking a little weird. Within a couple hours, the entire left side of my face was numb and just paralyzed. Couldn't really blink my eye.
Bob, what does she have, Bob? Bob will put it in the chat. We did a whole episode on this one time.
I definitely had no movement on this side of my face. So crazy. Went to the doctor. They ran tests. They did a CT scan. They put me on steroids, put me on other medications.
Again.
Bell's palsy. Like 3 people got it.
She's got the Bell's palsy. She's got the Bell's palsy.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Bell's. Oh, so you said Pauly? Nice. Well, Bob did get that in there.
Bell's palsy. There we go.
You called it Bell's palsy?
Bell's palsy. Because what?
Oh my God.
The person that had the Bell's palsy looked like Pauly from The Sopranos. The way they were called.
Yeah, sure.
He's got the Bell's palsy.
The palsy. Oh. Oh my God. He was my favorite.
Bell's palsy?
I love Pauly.
Okay.
Well, Bell's Pauly walnuts, but
all right. I know this is hard to take, but I don't know if we've lost somebody. I don't know if you've know this. Jim Acosta is no longer at CNN.
I wanted to end today's show by thanking all of the wonderful people who work behind the scenes at this network. You may have seen some reports about me and the show. And after giving all of this some careful consideration and weighing an alternative time slot CNN offered me, I've decided to move on. I am grateful to CNN for the nearly 18 years I've spent here doing the news. People often ask me if the highlight of my career at CNN was at the White House covering Donald Trump. Actually, no. That moment came here when I covered former President Barack Obama's trip to Cuba in 2016 and had the chance to question the dictator there, Raul Castro, about the island's political prisoners. As the son of a Cuban refugee, I took home this lesson. It is never a good time to bow down to a tyrant. I've always believed it's the job of the press to hold power to account. I've always tried to do that here at CNN.
One side, not both sides.
Yeah.
Jim, you would think that maybe this is a learning experience for Jim. Maybe he'll learn to take on both sides. So now he can join the bitter fruit, Don Lemon, and the guy that's brother of the former governor of New York.
Cuomo. Chris Cuomo.
Chris Cuomo. And they can all be over on Substack, where you can go over and pay for. You know what? Jim Acosta now has the same platform as Professor Tom.
There you go. Tom at least is cohesive and coherent. Jim's parents are very disappointed. Do you ever meet a Democrat Cuban?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they don't like that at all.
Well, again, Jim, this is not an airport, so no need to announce. No one fucking cares. Bye.
Yeah, I know. But
I know.
What did I just do?
I
Damn it.
know. You're playing that
Listen,
butthead.
I'm over here flying by the seat of my pants.
You are.
This has basically got what got Jim Acosta fired. Because I've never seen anybody get owned like this guy owned Jim Acosta, because he was all uppity. It's like, you know what? This is CNN.
Covered on CNN. What you're saying, this is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes. Yeah. This is CNN. This is the news. We're asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim.
Ha! He scolded him. How fucking rude was that?
Yeah,
this isn't Fox News.
Yeah, this is
Fox News has been killing it on all the platforms.
Yeah.
All of them. I mean, they have their own thing too, but you know.
Look, they took Jim Acosta and they moved him to midnight. So nobody was going to watch him. Yeah. So then he got pissed off. So he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave and get me a Substack. I was talking to Professor Tom the other day. And here you can make like people pay you $5 for your bullshit.
Your buttfuckers.
He got owned by a nerdy white guy. Nerdy white guy.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, the guy literally looked like he just came off the train. This fucking looked like a hobo. Good for him. You know what? There's no need to talk to your guests like that. None.
I just think it's hysterical. Again, we have all the left is freaking out. They're trying to, as soon as they had the spending freeze, they said, "Oh, you're SNAP and your
not true.
And your
Medicaid, all that.
It's all going to be no." Yeah. Here we go.
Nope, not at all.
Before we get started, I'm only going to do 5 minutes because we had a whole press briefing with Caroline, and I don't want to.
Steven, can you just give us a sense? How long is this temporary pause on federal funding? How long is this pause going to last?
Well, the terms of the executive order is 90 days, but it's important to understand that it's a review process to say that there's for discretionary spending that's not directed by Congress or required by law. So this would be, for example, something like a contract to a non-governmental organization to teach, say, critical race theory, that there has to be a politically appointed individual in the departments or agencies who simply reviews and approves the expenditure so that we have control, democratic control over the operations of government. This doesn't affect any federal programs that Americans rely on, full stop.
It's not going to have any impact on any Americans and what they rely on?
Oh, my God.
Program, like a benefit program that Americans rely on.
Like Meals on Wheels?
Correct. There's no, the OMB guidance document, which I think you're referring to, because the executive order was issued a week ago, it just gives clarity on how to implement the original executive order, which doesn't cover any entitlement or public benefit spending at all. And that's clear, by the way, if you read, as I'm sure you have, the OMB guidance document.
About El Salvador. So we know that the president spoke to President Bukele. Next week, Secretary Rubio will be in El Salvador. Should we be expecting El Salvador to take the Tren de Aragua Venezuelans?
Somebody check her fucking green card. I think
I didn't understand half of what she said. I feel bad.
As an agreement between the two countries?
All I can say on this, because I don't want to get ahead of Senator Rubio, is that the President Bukele has graciously offered tremendous degrees of cooperation with the United States on all things migration, and we're hoping that will provide a framework for migration cooperation all throughout the region. And I think it's very clear that President Bukele is going to be a very great and strong partner for this administration and for the United States.
Okay, so
good on him. He did very well with that, because I did not understand a fucking word she said.
The thing that I get from everything, from the new press secretary, all these people from the Trump administration, is professionalism. The professionalism, because they can go out and answer a question without a slant. They don't have to lie, and I love this.
There's nothing to remember. It's straight up like. Is what it is.
I like the new press secretary. Listen.
I know she's not your Kaylee.
She's not my Kaylee, and I was trying to figure out where she, to me, is like a Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, bite your tongue.
She's got that Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of sass to her, which I think doesn't bode well. My girl Kaylee, she had like a professionalism where she didn't just like as soon as they start,
She was snarky as shit. Don't kid yourself.
They would ask a question, and as soon as they got to the part of the question, you can see this girl smile like, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I have something.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I thought I think I like her. I like her more than I like Kaylee. I think she comes across as much, not that Kaylee wasn't qualified. I think that this young lady comes across very authoritatively, and speaks authoritatively, speaks with purpose. There's like no pause. Like you don't see her like blinking and eye rolling and stuttering and flipping notebook pages. She comes out and she didn't like introduce herself as I'm the woman that was chosen for this job. She didn't have to identify herself or pronoun herself. She just came out. How are you? Nice to see you. Let's go. And just took every question.
Talking point about this.
I'm not going to get into this. Here's a woman. She's talking about the deportation, because again, the mainstream media,
the children,
they can't seem to get the difference between somebody that's here legally and somebody that's here illegally. That's they can't seem to get that through their thick fucking skull. But
I've seen a huge leftist talking point about this mass deportation. Well, what about the kids? You guys have no empathy. The children, the innocent children at risk, blah, blah, blah. Like Selena Gomez getting online and hysterically crying about her people. First of all, babe, you're an American. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Second of all, I didn't hear you crying about the kids the last 4 years when your administration lost hundreds of thousands of them to sex and labor traffickers. Let me show you a little something.
Every child gets a Know Your Rights presentation. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is that before or after you release them to labor traffickers?
Oh, that's a bad question.
Senator, every child that comes into our care gets a Know Your Rights presentation as well.
Have you read these New York Times reports? These stories, the series of stories the New York Times has done on the children who are in your care? Have you read them?
Yes, I have.
Have you read that children are scrubbing dishes? They are operating heavy machinery. They are delivering meals. They are harvesting coffee. They are working construction. They are working as housekeepers. They are working overnight shifts at plants where they are not paid. They are not going to school. They are not cared for. They are not giving meals. Almost all of it illegally. Are you aware of that?
Oh, so we're back to the 70s.
That's a yes or no.
Yes.
Ooh.
Do the Know Your Rights presentation help them in those situations?
No.
Senator ORR.
That's a yes or no, I think. Do you really think that you're helping these children by releasing them to labor traffickers and, yes, sex traffickers? 85,000 children whom you have no contact with, and your answer is we gave them a presentation before we turned them over to these people who are exploiting them on a scale not seen in this country for 100 years.
You don't know who that woman is. She is Miss Marcos, and she, as of September of 2022, is the director of the ORR. The ORR is the Office of Refugee Resettlement. Let me show you another clip.
Concerned because you have managed to lose 85,000 of them, and the Times knows where they are, or 2/3 of them, and they're with labor traffickers. It's unbelievable. Let me just ask you this. How many kids right now, the 430,000 approximately, unaccompanied children have crossed the border into this administration? It's an astounding number. How many are you in regular contact with right now?
Senator, we have a number of different providers across the country.
But what's the number? What's the number? How many of you are you in? You said child welfare is your top concern. What's the number?
I don't have the specific number.
How can you not know? Why would you come to this hearing and not know?
Because nobody ever asked me tough questions before.
Because I never had to justify my actions.
Right.
And I just suck at my job and just take my money and fuck those kids.
Right. Because
they're immigrants, so fuck them.
And, I'm a
making kickbacks.
Yeah. I get a kick out of.
It's disgusting.
Because everybody's upset. Oh, they said DEI. Yes. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, why don't we just have the best people? Why don't we just do the best people? How about that? There was a plane crash yesterday. I don't know if anybody hasn't heard of this yet.
It's terrible.
A helicopter was flying up the Potomac or down, whatever way it was going, and just happened with lights out and with night vision, just happened to plow into another plane, a passenger plane that was lit up like a fucking drone, like a UFO.
It was landing. Everything was lit. All the
Right.
lights. Yep.
It's landing, and it comes in and runs right into it. Now,
Can I say something before you do? I won't divulge anything. As soon as I saw this last night, and I hate my brain does this, I was like, something's fucked with this. There's no way. There's no way. You don't just give that helicopter to anybody. I talked about it this morning too with Bruce and the guys. So, but yeah, that was my thought.
so I have the same thoughts that you have.
I hate it.
That
I hate it all
apparently-
that way. Mhm.
And again, we have
There
all
you
these
go.
internet sleuths that are out there.
Mhm.
And all this is, I'm just going to say, I don't know this is a fact. I haven't run this down, but I've seen videos where they say that this helicopter took off from the Saudi Arabia embassy. That's odd. And as it went up or down the Potomac River, planes seem to fly up and down this river like crazy.
It gets a ton of traffic.
Well, they have this app now that every plane, you can see it. So this helicopter was moving out of the way of all these other planes. Saw that one, saw that one, saw that one. And then all of a sudden, like a fucking Scud missile.
Yeah.
Just
It aimed
crashed.
for it. You
Now-
know, I thought, given the fact of what happened in New Orleans, what happened in Vegas, they were military grade folk who blew the car up in front of Trump Hotel, who plowed people down in New Orleans. Why not? It worked. It made sense to me, but
Here's the funny thing and when I say funny, I don't mean funny like ha ha.
funny, weird.
Funny,
Yeah.
weird, funny, strange. And again, I know, where's the tinfoil for my hat? But they haven't announced any of the names of the pilots because they haven't got to the next of kin yet.
Yeah.
It's been 24 hours.
Almost, yeah.
I would think that they would know by now. And I hate the fact that Pete whatever his name is,
Hegseth.
Hegseth. I'll never get this name right. Hegseth. He had done a video talking about it and said that they were on a training exercises. The training exercise
Bullshit.
they
It's
used
never training exercise.
night goggles. It was some kind of something. And here's the other thing. Bob has right here. There's cameras all over. There's cameras all over. Why are we only seeing one shot or one camera? Now they're putting them up on social media. This one lady or guy was driving, and all of a sudden you saw the impact, and you saw the basically the explosion and the plane falling and the helicopter falling out of the sky.
Awful.
I don't know, like, why that plane? You think it was just a random act of violence, like a
I
terrorist?
need to see the passenger list on that too.
Yeah. Why? Why all of a sudden
I know.
did this happen?
I hate it. I hate it. Think that way.
All right. That is one of the busiest airports in the country.
Yeah.
Because everybody's flying in and out of there. You've got all government people, agencies. Plane was coming from Kansas. Who the fuck is in Kansas? Apparently, the report is now that it was a bunch of skaters. There was a competition and their families.
Awful. Those poor kids.
All right. So you got 62. But then here I see another video of how they can fly this helicopter with no pilots. They can fly it remotely like a drone. That's strange. That's weird.
That's
suspicious. So I don't know. But here we go. So then, goddamn Trump, he comes out. And the first thing he says is he attacks the controllers, the air traffic controllers. Now
Commenters are terrible.
All right, come on, bring them up.
Budvugger, are we really going to miss figure skaters?
No.
Bob says I was where Doug was on it.
I was hoping.
Oh my God. Disgusting.
Just
How dare you?
kidding.
Because he's secretly a nice skater.
Because he's also secretly a nice skater. Yeah, Doug's a very good ice skater.
I also have another thing to bring up, but when you're done with this.
Go ahead.
So.
Oh,
No, it's not on the subject.
Oh, okay,
It'll
okay.
left turn you right off. So
It'll left turn me right off. All right. That keep the influence going, John. We'll have her convinced the moon landing is faked in no time.
No, you won't.
Look, they can fly these helicopters remotely. This thing flew. It dodged planes all the way on its path to where it was going and flew right into this fucking thing. Now, here's the thing. You've got to really be a good pilot or a really bad pilot to hit a plane that's moving as fast as it's moving and you're moving trying to hit it. I don't know.
It's like a video game.
Yeah, it's like a video game. So that's going on. So then Trump comes in and says, it's the Biden administration, DEI, and the people are...
That doesn't help.
The air traffic controllers do have a DEI program. And they're like, well, why can't people of color, I keep saying black, people of color and women be air traffic controllers? They can.
Be good at your job. Be good at it.
Yeah, if they're qualified. But what I don't want you doing is lowering the test or the training for them to be able to do it, because this is really, really important, especially at that airport because of the traffic. Listen,
Look, you get a lot of political people. Not that anybody should be prioritized, but that gets a fuckload of traffic.
Look, if you've got some women that you need there or people of color that really don't have they're not the best at this. Let's put them out in Des Moines, Iowa, someplace out in Kansas where there's not that many flights, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, something like that. Nashville, not even Nashville. What I'm just saying is that you don't put these people in the busiest airports. You don't. And then there was a documentary or a news report. They're saying that what Budweiser's saying, air traffic controllers are understaffed and they're made to work overtime and they're made to work long, long hours. And what they're trying to do now is say, look, pilots are only allowed to, if they fly 10 hours, they have to have 12 hours off.
They got to let these people get away. It is a
rest.
ridiculously stressful position.
So this is what
shit like this.
This is what's happened. So it needs to, now the first thing that goes, oh, he's so racist. He's not racist. He's saying we don't give a shit.
Qualified.
We don't care about their race. We don't care about their gender. We want the best of the best in this industry. And if you can't make it, then go do something else. Or go, again, like I said, put them somewhere where there's out in the middle of the country where they get like maybe 10 or 12 flights a day.
Look, this is a high intensity job. You either can do it or you can't. And you can't half do this job. You can't be like, well, the plane landed, they're all dead, or it's on fire because it hit somebody. You can't have that. That's not how it works. You have to get them all down. You have to get them all up. They all can't smack into each other. And it's a ridiculous amount of stress. I could not imagine. I'm stressed out and I don't do anything like that. I'm having a shit week. So could not imagine staring at.
Well, I'm trying to think. Oh, Samantha is flying back from Toronto to Saskatoon today.
Toronto.
I didn't tell her about this accident. I didn't say anything.
She didn't hear about it?
I don't know if she did or not. She didn't say anything to me about it, but I didn't hear anything.
Had to have. It's everywhere.
I can't imagine having.
I wouldn't have had discussion. I'm not thrilled. I just got back. I'm like, I don't want to fly anywhere now.
I know.
Because these people got through for me, the scariest parts are the takeoff and the landings. Yeah. Because that's, to me, the most problems. And now I'm going to think about this. I mean, I'm grateful I'm not in Florida where now I have to get on a plane to fly home. But yeah, that's not cool. Budweiser says, don't they take dog sleds in Saskatoon?
No, to be honest with you. No, they don't. So Trump is, so I see everybody in the.
Can I bring this up?
Does John think I'm a socialist?
Why does John?
Yeah, why does John? Because you're not a socialist. You're a moron. We talked about you earlier, Soft, how you came on and you said, oh, I just wanted everybody to know John wants more regulations. I want regulations that actually work. Like I said earlier.
Standards. Really.
Yeah. If McDonald's wants to fry your French fries in motor oil, I say we stop that. All right. We make a regulation where you can't use motor oil. Now, if seed oils are harmful for you, I would say let's not cook the French fries in seed oil. Is that too much to ask? Or if there's some other regulation for like eggs or situations like that, we want sensible
Coca-Cola, put the sugar back instead of the fucking corn syrup.
Yeah. And I'm going over this, but the Fruit Loops in America has like 50 ingredients. The Fruit Loops in Europe and Canada, they've outlawed these things that are harmful, cause cancer. They take them out. But for some reason, we in America, because big food and big pharma, they put so much money into politics that they're allowed to put this in there. So why wouldn't we want the same Fruit Loops that they give in Europe or Canada? They've also taken the fiber out of all the food, so we eat more of it. That's right. Sparky says, let's make McRibs great again. There you go.
Oh, here you go. Bruce has an opinion.
Perhaps Coach Weekly should investigate what it takes to make a fucking corn oil, vegetable, or soy oil. And anytime, listen, Bruce, you don't know Soft Weekly.
He's a troll for John.
He is a lonely alcoholic that lives in the Detroit area. And he wants so bad to be able to do what I do and other people do, but he just doesn't have the talent to do any of that. And he's tried several times. He's been on other shows. They fired him. His biggest claim to fame was he was the first one that found Aaron Emholt, the Steel Toe Morning Show, and didn't like him. I was the first one that didn't like him. Congratulations. Congratulations, Saul.
There you go. So Budbugger says, so
he's Eric Zane. He's friends with Eric Zane. He likes Eric Zane.
Sorry, man. Birds of a feather. That's not cool.
Yeah. Stick around. Maybe we'll do a little Eric Zane segment later. Watch Duchess roll her eyes.
On cue.
But so anyhow, on social media, the first thing they go, the price of eggs haven't been down. Hey, I'm so glad you Democrats are focused on the price of groceries. When your guy was in for 4 years, when he was signing executive order after executive order and signing the Green New Scam or
just millions and billions of dollars everywhere else. Yeah.
The Inflation Reduction Act and drove prices up because of inflation. Yeah. You guys didn't say boo about prices. You just sat there and bent over and took it from your daddy, took it right in the pooper, dry. But now all of a sudden he's not in there anymore. Oh, now all of a sudden you're worried about the price of eggs.
Right in the pooper.
Faggots. So anyhow.
Oh my God.
So they're like, you want Trump to sign orders? Yeah. As a matter of fact, here's some orders that he signed the other day. I couldn't get enough of these.
Okay, sir, this one says, now that the retards are out of the White House, everyone can say retard again with pride.
Why don't we get that down so they can get them going right now?
This one says white people are now allowed to say the N-word once a month just to really get one out of the chamber. And it must be whispered with a black friend nearby.
That's a big one. We're opening up that one.
This is a good one, sir. Basically says if men have to put their height on the dating apps, women should have to put their weight. That's for quote-unquote equality. She wants to know if he can reach the top of the fridge. He should want to know if she's going to clean out the fridge. It's called the Rosie O'Donnell Fat Pig Act.
Oh, my God.
Okay, this one says the LGBTQIA plus 2- umlaut community is now just going to be called the everything but straight people list. It's really just a time saver.
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
China will now be called China America.
Now, if China didn't approve it, we could put tariffs on China.
When we take over Greenland, it will now be called Red, White, and Blue Land.
Greenland is a wonderful place. We need it for international security.
This one says if you see a man wearing a COVID mask outside, you can have sex with his girlfriend because Lord knows him is not pleasing her any longer.
People have wanted to do this for years. What's this one?
This says we are bringing back the real gun emoji, getting rid of that weak Democrat woke water pistol bullshit.
We have to do what's right.
Oh, this one's interesting, sir. It says all the fat, bald feminists with 40 cats who hate men, they will now be put in the front lines during any war. They don't have family or kids, just cats, as I said. So let's put them to work.
And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff.
No.
And they're tough. They're very tough.
If somebody says you have to respect my pronouns, you are allowed to fart in their mouth, sir.
Stranger things have happened. The wind brings it down a lot.
This one says if a woman divorces you and takes half your stuff, she's required to have sex with you half the time. Fair is fair, sir.
If we create that value, why aren't we entitled to like half? Thank you very much, everybody. All right, guys.
Okay, so Bob also weighed in, I guess, with the cat segment. Also, guinea pigs. I only have 2, and they're blind. So come on, I'm like doing a service.
They're blind and they're
loudest. Well, they do. Yeah, they do kind of hump each other. So yeah, I guess they might be. So I also had a response from someone who noticed what's in your background.
And did you bring it up or what's the story here?
It was a message to me, not it was not in the comments. I don't. Do you want me to shout it out? I don't know.
Why would we say something?
Well, I wanted you to acknowledge what you have in the background.
Oh,
and shockingly, yeah,
roll toilet paper.
Yes. So okay. John. So before the show started, John was going to move it, and he's like, "No, fuck it, I'm going to leave it here."
See how long it takes anybody to notice.
Surprisingly, a while.
This isn't for wiping my ass. This is for when I have I have to blow my nose or something like that.
Okay.
Instead of a box of tissues, I have a roll of toilet paper. So anyhow, I said, when we get this out of the shot, and I said, no, let's put it back here.
Let's put it back. See who notices.
See who notices.
Surprisingly, it wasn't Mike from Wheelbarrow Full of Dicks. So.
I'm shocked, to be honest.
I am.
Who messaged you?
I don't want to out him, but I will. It's Sparky. So,
of course.
Sorry, Sparky.
Why would you put that in the chat? That would have been funny.
I don't know. I was like, he said, I said it.
I said it. I said, what's the toilet paper over there, Domingo? What's going on over there? I'm not feeling well. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been sipping on tea and honey the whole time.
Because of his delicate sensibilities.
Yeah, Dean used all my tissues when Dutch read that book.
Oh, stop. You haven't gotten any more of those, right? I don't think so.
No, they said they would buy them and then I would have you read them.
Oh, good. Well, good. Nobody buy them. Fine with me.
Right. I did. Listen, I know. Listen, my head's a little foggy and I'm not feeling well. So I missed something. Okay. But when we were talking about Jim Acosta and how he's leaving, him and Trump weren't really friendly.
Right.
They hated each other. So as soon as he said he was leaving, Trump put out a truth on Truth Social. Here it is. Yes. Would you like to read it?
Okay. Wow, really good news. Jim Acosta.
Oh,
come on. God damn it.
You know you have to read this as Trump. Come on.
I'll do my best. Oh, God, I haven't even done that impersonation in a while. Wow, really good news. Jim Acosta, one of the worst and most dishonest reporters in the journalistic history, a major sleazebag, has been regulated by CNN fake news to the midnight hour, Death Valley, because of extraordinarily bad ratings and no talent. Word is he wants to quit, but that would be even better. Jim is a major loser, the biggest loser, who will fail no matter where he ends up. Good luck, Jim. It's not
Atta girl. There you go.
It's so bad. Don't make me do that. It's so terrible.
I went to pull that up. I said, oh, Duchess has to read that.
Oh.
As Trump. That was great. That was amazing.
No, but thank you. But no.
I'm going to take a little side, whatever you call that. What do we call that when I take a
tangent?
A tangent. Thank you.
There you go. Oh, Lisa goes, you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired. I want to bring back an oldie but a goodie.
Okay.
11 when that plane supposedly struck the Pentagon. The eye rolls. Look at Duchess. Hold on. Let's see what Duchess has to say here.
I'm waiting for you to finish your ridiculous statement.
Hold on. This whole thing is bullshit because there's no way. And the reason I say that, but if you didn't do it maliciously, if it was an accident, like some kind of work accident, fuck that.
Come on, gotta die of something.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a heart attack. Here we go. So let's let this gentleman say what he wants to say.
The Pentagon, just so you viewers know, is the most.
I still go with
WTC7 won't go away.
and also cover up.
Yeah,
there was a lot of shit that they got away with because of shit that
You knew the new Coke formula was coming.
Well, they knew that he wasn't going to be able to actually make it to the fucking moon, and they had to fake it.
Oh my God.
In Hollywood,
Mhm.
so they took him out so that they could do that.
I would immediately put my hand on the Bible and swear to God that I walked on the moon.
There was,
if someone walked up to
No,
me
they
every
wouldn't. If
day,
they ran up to you like that, you'd probably fucking shoot them if we come hauling up to you. You know, like when they come to near your house.
if somebody came up to me and was with a Bible and I had walked on the moon and said to me, put your hand on the Bible and swear to God, fake the moon landing. That's all. It was just a, and they just, doctors had just come out from the ones that were there.
One blue left, one blue right. Got it.
Right? Yeah.
No,
Well,
see, that's just it though. We're not.
until somebody asks him to put his hand on the Bible and swear to it, then he won't do it.
Look, I can't get fucking cell service, and I'm a mile from a tower with a clear line of sight.
You say to that, Duchess.
Daddy's getting paid. Oh my God.
There you go.
That's so awful.
The Duchess eye roll segment. That's all I have to say. I
Oh,
laughed so
thanks,
hard.
Mike.
I had to bring that back. Mike, the producer, does amazing things.
He said I did another one earlier and he's going to grab it. Like, great.
Oh,
There you go. Oh, Bob says, I love these bunker classics. Actually,
Yeah.
I love that name, Bunker Classics.
Bunker Classics. That's
There
actually
you go.
Great
And
idea.
Sparky goes, oh, the abuse I have to put up with.
She does. Speaking of abuse,
Who is this nitwit? Your old pal Eric Zane.
all right. Duchess loves these. I just happened to be perusing some things. And
Why?
Well, I was over on Twitch because I wanted to see, he was talking about something today, and I wanted to see him talk about it, and I needed to pull it. So when I went over there, I noticed this. And so he had a show, and these were his live viewers for the show that he did. 16 views. Ooh, that's a tough one. All right, because he's always complaining about us. So then I said, well, geez, I wonder what our views are, our live views. Our live views were 7. Whoops, wrong one. Hold on. This one. Our live views were 59 views. So he is steadily losing viewers, live viewers, which I thought was really funny. So then I went to check out his show. And again, I didn't get a chance to do the John, do you dye your beard now because, well, looking good? No, I do not dye my beard.
Hey, Tig.
Dave's here. We were just talking about Dave earlier today.
Is that Dave?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's not Dave?
I don't know who it is. I was chatting with him over in Who's Right last night.
I think it's Dave. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. What do I know? All right. So I have
Not-
this.
Here you go. He says, not Dave.
It's not Dave.
Not Dave.
All right. So he's on the show today, and
He's Mexican, not Australian.
okay, good enough. So he's here, and apparently, oh, happy day for Eric Zane. Greg from Free Beer and Hot Wings, I guess he's Free Beer, mentioned him, and he's so excited. He's got to tell everybody about this. Now, wait till you hear the mention.
Some have suggested, okay, you're starting to get to them. And I would be hesitant to say that. However, in what I'm about to play for you, it was so out of left field, and it wasn't a great joke.
Like yours.
But I think it is kind of an indicator. I do have to agree with you that if they're talking about a particular topic that has nothing to do with me, and then suddenly Greg throws me in as an insult. The background of this clip is they were taking text messages.
Where's your get to the fucking point?
You got a bad report card or something like that, and that's pretty much all you need to know. And Kelly is
fascinating.
One from an audience member about this exact thing, and that's where we pick it up. By the way, she's cute in a hat.
Oh, this is good. Tyler said, I went to a high school where my science teacher was also a magician. 9 times out of 10, he wouldn't teach, but he'd do magic tricks for us instead.
Yes.
Well, one day I made him really upset by giving him an eye roll when I was sick of his magic BS. He made me stay after class and called my mom. I told my mom how he was wasting our time with magic tricks instead of teaching us, and the entire class is fed up. My mom yelled at him till he turned red and hung up on her.
Okay. Wow. Now that's good. It's a good text.
Okay.
Listen where Greg goes.
Wow. That is a fragile teacher, man.
Magician teacher.
That guy should have gone into podcasting. He's so thin-skinned.
I'd buy Greg a drink for that. That's pretty funny.
This. You can call me a lot of things. There's a
we do
things you can say about me. But I would be. There is no one who would ever think that I am thin-skinned.
I'm sorry. Go back 5 seconds. What the fuck did he just say? He's not.
Roll that back a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I won't give him any more plays, but
one things you can say about me. But I would be. There is no one that exists who would ever think that I am thin-skinned.
Are you kidding me?
No, not at all.
And there are no examples of me being thin-skinned.
There's not.
That's
really. Hang on. Let's talk about this.
Oh, we are. God damn it,
Eric. I can't even get to your show. I had to come on this without signing in just so I could see your show because I'm blocked. I'm blocked from everything. I was going to try to get out of Mike because one time he let me. He didn't realize that he was on YouTube and he didn't block me on YouTube yet. And I put up something. And when I put it in the comment, the blood drained out of his face. You're so thin-skinned, Eric, you can't even handle a comment. How many times in the comments have you yelled at the chat because they don't chat correctly to your specifications? And Eric, you come in here, we don't have you blocked. You're welcome to come into this chat any fucking time you want. You can. I don't understand the fact that you think that we're afraid of you or you're not thin-skinned. You have the skin of tissue paper. This thin. And it's not even padded.
Is that 2-ply?
Your finger goes right through it. I'm just saying.
There you go. Go watch him and post song lyrics because he loves that.
Yeah, post. He throws people out in the chat to put song lyrics in the chat.
How dare you?
It's ridiculous. I love the fact that he says, "Oh, you can't call me thin-skinned." I can't.
We shall.
All right, where did it go? I got to get him out of here now. There he is.
There you go.
All right, so that's it. That's enough.
Changing the subject.
Right. I love the fact that he said, well, one thing you can say about me is I'm not thin-skinned. As he's given 600, you get the band hammer. You get the band hammer. When I first started watching him, he had hundreds of people watching him live. 16. Oh. Give me a good copy pasta and I'll represent. Copy paste. And I'll represent his stream. He'll block you. As soon as anything about this show or me or Duchess or Bob or anybody
here,
listeners,
ban hammer.
Anybody, you know what got you banned? If he went, because he's got a Patreon. If you left his Patreon, he banned you. Like if you're not going to give him $10 a month or $5 a month or whatever, he banned you. But he can't handle this.
I'm dead.
He told everybody on the show that Bob was dead.
Really, Bob?
Bob has died. Bob dead.
Sorry, Bob. That was funny as hell.
I figured you would like this because you know what Duchess does. I put the thing that I got in our notes. Who is this nitwork? She puts in there. ... Boring. ... Yeah, trust me every once in a while.
It was. That little bit was funny.
Dare you?
Wow.
It was fun.
It's not like you don't know. So he's not my favorite subject to discuss.
I know he's not your favorite to discuss. Every once in a while, he's mine.
Like a turd, he just floats back up.
Here's Eric talking about this show.
Welcome to the Boomer Bunker Podcast. I'm John Domingo. Dumb shit John Gismongo said, "Well, I told you, we need our fucking guns." And Boomer Bob says, "From what do we need to be protected from?" There's the government. He actually said, "The government." Why do you people even watch that shit?
Well, alrighty.
Got to say one thing. He did give us the government. That's
I still didn't do it right, though. So.
I didn't do it right?
Well, he didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, how do you want? For free. That's why.
Yeah.
Because we don't bilk the people who watch us.
No, we don't. I asked Duchess if we should do like one show live and then one show behind a paywall. And she's like, why? And then I'll tell you why. Because I was listening to a podcast about podcasting and they're talking about things for 2025. And they said, you know, if you don't try it, it won't work. And I thought to myself, that's a good idea.
Well,
so I thought maybe we could try it to see how it works. Just as an experiment. But then I thought to myself, if we do this and nobody shows up, I'll fucking
Well, I think if we were going to put something behind a paywall, it would have to be something that we don't do normally. I think if we just did another episode, they'll be like, well, I'll just hear it again on the next one. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and we'll probably reference it because that's what we always talk about, other shit. So if we're going to do behind a paywall for like $1 a month or something, you know,
$1.
Well, whatever. I don't know what we didn't discuss it. So I have no idea what you're talking about, but it would have to be something I would think completely different.
Okay.
Google head says, Duchess is sympathetic to the poors. Me. But me.
I'll be honest with you.
No, Dean. No.
This
you want to make money.
This is fun for me. Okay. It helps me stay relevant.
Although Jamingo Bingo.
Jamingo Bingo would be pretty
Oh my
good.
God, can we play that next week?
Well, we need something.
I need to do that.
We need something. Also, I would like to get the audience involved in like titles. So for the titles so far today, I've got Grumpy Gus, and that's all I got because I'm doing two. So if you can think of a title,
anybody has an idea, drop it in the comments.
Yeah, everybody got an idea for a title? We can just drop in the comments. But that's, for 2025, I was thinking that maybe we could just do one show live like this and then one show on a paywall. The other thing I was thinking about doing, if this is okay with you, is when I see something that I know we're not going to talk about on the show, is just popping on and doing a real quick segment about it and throwing it in the feed as like a bunker special or a bunker alert or something. We'll give it a name and just throw it up there so you can listen to it. But it wouldn't be live. It would be like, I wouldn't come on here live and do a show without you. Can't do that. So I would just do something like behind the scenes and then put it up. It'd just pop up on your feed. I don't know, just things I'm thinking about doing in 2025.
We can always play around.
I always say that because I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then I'm like, when am I going to get the time to?
Yeah, 3 podcast streams that you got, and you're like, Jamingo Rants, right? We're still working on that.
Well, I gave up Jamingo Rants because most of the Jamingo
we
Rants
do twice a week. Yeah.
I do twice a week, so there's no reason to do Jamingo Rants. Although Jamingo Rants would be a great thing to throw in the Boomer Bunker feed. If I have a rant,
there you go.
If I have a rant about Eric Zane, that Duchess won't like because Duchess says I'm not going to talk about it. I said, oh, that's fine. I'll just do this. All right, so we're going to talk about Eric Zane. anyhow, and just she didn't like that too much.
Go ahead. So did you see, I put the link in Discord, but it was, we have a bunch about getting press passes. The new press secretary indicated that podcasters and all alternative media, social medias could apply for a press pass. And I thought, well, how fun would it be to apply for a press pass?
Okay. Which one of us can pass a background check?
You can't?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I could.
Okay, so you could pass a background check. I'm not sure. Look,
I didn't smuggle bombs or anything for my dad, so I'm good.
Back in the day, I did have a security clearance for buildings.
I was going to say an indiscretion, perhaps.
Well, I could go into federal courthouses, and I could go into the Mint, the U.S. Mint.
Oh, that's cool. I wanted to
Right.
go to the Philadelphia one. We didn't have time when I was out here.
Did I ever tell you the story about what they fucking did to me at the Mint?
No.
So the Mint was not the Philadelphia Mint was not my job. So every once in a while, there's a shutdown, and the Mint runs 24/7. It's the most amazing place you've ever seen in your entire
I
life.
still want to go there. I really do.
But not because of what the tour is. It's like the inner workings of the Mint.
Right.
So in the back of the Mint, they have like 8 or 9 bays where they pull these basic, what are those things called? The armor cars. They'll pull an armor car in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To take the money in and out. So they pull this thing on this big giant hydraulic elevator. The piston size in the elevator, normal piston size for an elevator is like 8 inches. This thing was like
sounds like it's perfectly acceptable.
It was huge. You couldn't even wrap your arms around it.
Wow.
2 of them, 2 pistons at the same time. 2 pistons at the same time would go up and down. So if this thing shuts down for some reason in the middle of the, and it's got all this money on it, they need somebody to come in.
Right.
Well, our company had this. They had the contract for this, and what they were supposed to do was put tools in there where the guy would come in and he didn't have any tools, so he'd come in and he'd come out. But my company was like, "We're not going to do that. You guys buy your own tools." Whatever. So you had to go in with your tool bag.
Right.
So you go into the Mint, they check you, they wand you, and off you go. You go in, it's no big deal. Coming out was the bitch.
Oh, I bet. Empty every pocket, right? Shoes
Every
off.
pocket, wand you, and then you put your tools through. You put your tools in this bag, and when they would go through,
People steal anything. Yeah.
Okay. So my bag goes through, and apparently I had 11 cents in my bag, and they saw it. So they pull my bag out. They go, "You got money in your bag?" I go, "Okay, well, open it, whatever." And it was 11 cents. I go, "Keep it." I don't know. I said, maybe, I don't know how it got in there. Whatever. It's 11 cents. No big deal. Yeah. Thief.
Good one.
Yeah. Money. So anyhow, they said, "Okay, well, we need you to go through the thing again." So now I go through, beep, take off your shoes. So I take off my shoes. Beep.
Uh-oh.
Take off your
It's
belt.
like strip poker, but no fun.
Right. Take off your belt. It's 2:00 in the morning. I got this call. I went in, I fixed the elevator. I'm leaving. It's 2:00 in the morning. Beep. Take off your belt. I take off my belt. I go through again, and it goes beep. They go, "We're going to have to take you in the back and strip search you."
Yeah, fuck you. You are.
I looked the guy's dead in the face. I said, "You're going to have to call for backup." You are not. I said, "I don't know what the fuck." I said, "I emptied my pockets. I emptied this." I said, "I have nothing on here." I said, "You are not strip searching me." Hear what those motherfuckers were doing? Because I was the new guy, because I came in.
Were they fucking with you?
They were touching it, and when they touch it, it would go off.
Oh my God. Well,
go,
at least
we're just fucking with you. Go ahead. Put your boot.
they're trying to see how far you would take your clothes off.
Yeah. I said, "We never had somebody say call for backup. We never had that happen before."
You're like, so did that mean they get someone to strip?
Well, see, it depends, because they would always fuck with these vendors that had to come in overnight. That was what they would like to do.
Cool says I'd cry. I would totally cry too. I do not do well under pressure. I'd be like, I didn't do it, I swear.
So the one time the guy says to me, I came in with my tools. I fixed the car and everything. I come back out. I go out, I make sure that I empty my bag out, make sure there's no change in it,
Take
right?
everything out.
My tools back in. I go in, I fix the elevator, I come out, and the guy goes, you got to leave your tools here. You need a permit to get your tools out. I go, well, where's the guy for the permit? We don't have one guy here today. You have to leave your tools here. You have to come back tomorrow morning.
Fuck yourself.
So I said, no. I said, I get paid until I go home. I'm not leaving without my tools. I'm getting paid. I'll sit over here in this chair until the guy comes in, tell me when I can get my permit to get the tools
And I'm
out.
billing you guys. Yep.
Yeah. I said, I'm just going to sit over here. So they sat there and they go, you're going to sit here until 8 o'clock in the morning? It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. I said, yeah, why not? I'm not leaving without my tools. That's number one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, because they'd be somewhere safe and gone.
Where am I going to go without my tools?
What are you going to do? How are you going to work? Right?
Yeah, how am I going to work without my tools? Well, where's your tools? They're in the mint. So the guy sitting there for a while, and I guess I sat there for about 15 minutes. He goes, just take him and get out of here. Okay, thank you. Yeah. And off I went. But that's how they would fuck with you at the mint. Wait, if you took money from the mint, would the change not be new and current? Yeah. Well, I don't know. They wouldn't let you take, if you had money, if you had change in your pocket, let's say you went in there, they let you in. They would let you in with anything. You walk in with a machine gun, they wouldn't give a shit. Coming out is when they got
money. As long as you have no money.
Right. So if you had like a change in your pocket from, I don't know, you went and got a coffee or something, there's like change in your pocket. They're like, oh, you can't leave with that change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, these are the old days when you actually paid cash and you carried cash instead of just debit carding your way through life,
Yeah. So, but the neatest thing was they would have these trucks come in and they would have coils of the nickel and the copper and all the make pennies, nickels, quarters, and dimes.
That's
and they would have big giant rolls of them in these, and they would bring them in and they would lift them out and they'd put them in this machine that would just chunk, and just
that is ridiculous.
Out
I would totally stand in front of those and watch that. That's
same thing with the dollar bills. They also print dollar bills there, and they would have one of those the trucks, whatever they're called. Can't even think of it now.
The armored cars.
Armored cars. Thank you.
Okay.
Stacked to the roof with nothing but pallets of dollar bills, where they were ones, fives, tens, hundreds, whatever, and they'd be stacked in there, and they'd be loading them into the truck, and then the truck would go out the other side, and then off it would go. And these elevators were huge elevators, and they had to run. That place ran 24/7. So
that's
it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's why I love the elevator, but you never knew what you were going to run into. You never knew what was going to happen. The one time the guy he puts the money on the car and all, and I don't know whatever happened. He took his foot off the brake, and the damn thing went right through the door on the other side, and now it's stuck in the elevator with the door all broken. And I come in, they go, got to get this fixed. Looking around, I'm like, I can't do this by myself. I need another guy. I need another 2 guys to get this done.
I got to call him. I got to call him back up now.
Everything was huge in that building. It was massive.
That's amazing, though. Like all of what gets done in that. I mean, there's several mints, but there's not tons of them. So I mean, just the amount of coins and bills that they process, because that's how you make money. You just print more. But it's amazing.
No. What would happen was not only they do that, but they would bring in the other money, the old money, and shred it.
Yes.
And then that would have to go out. I don't know what they did with that, but they would shred it in the mint.
I think they'd melt them down. Would they melt it back down or something?
Dollars, not.
I
don't know
no.
what they did with the
Bills
coin.
they would shred. Yeah.
Yeah, the bills they would shred. But it was cool. All right, there's an elevator story for you.
There you go.
Right.
Google has a request for the next lore drop. Can you talk about the elevator operator strikes of the 1920s? I don't know if that's his wheelhouse.
Well, I do know about it.
There you go. Well, keep that in mind for the next. Okay. I'm telling you, we need to do elevator stories. Maybe that's your Patreon. It's your elevator stories.
Maybe.
Google says you were there.
No, I wasn't there. I got into the elevator
She
business.
thinks world is dirt. That's why.
Yeah, I got into the elevator business in 1987 is when I got my permit.
I was in high school.
Yeah.
Way back when.
That's when I got in.
I miss the 80s. They were good times.
Yeah, 80s and 90s. All right.
Fun.
We're going to be back Monday, right?
I guess we are.
Now, what's the deal? We got up till the middle of, when is it? March 10th is when our 300th episode will be?
I think it's the first Thursday.
First Thursday in March, it'll be our 300th episode.
Well, we're working on it. I have to talk to you off air.
Duchess is like, what are we going to do? I'm like, what's the big, it's 300
Just
episodes.
show up, whatever. So
What would you like us to do on our 300? I don't want to do old clips. I don't want to do stuff like that because that's something you can always go watch.
Yeah.
I would do something different. A game, maybe. Bring a guest on.
I like a game, and I like the game that Jody did. That he would the one that he was inspired by. The one I played previously, like when it was closer to Christmas or Thanksgiving. So we can I'll come up with something that might be fun.
Okay,
we'll see what we can come up with.
I'll leave Duchess in charge of this.
So things that inspire you to think of other songs, or I'd say books, but I know that wouldn't be a thing for you. So.
I don't read books, Duchess.
I don't read. I know.
There's a book about the New Jersey Mafia, and it was what the Sopranos were based on. And a friend of mine's reading it, and then I was like, "Well, let me go see if I can get it in a downloadable book," and I can. And $15 to get it. But then again, when am I going to listen to it?
Well, when you go to sleep, and you can just kind of go back to where you think you missed, and it'll give you some great vivid dreams, I'm sure.
That's what I'm afraid of, because you fall asleep, next thing you know, I'm in the mafia.
Who narrates it? Is it an actor, or is it just the author, or just some?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't really listen to it, but
I think it would be great if they had like someone from The Sopranos or somebody like narrating it.
Yeah. I love stories and documentaries on the mafia. They fascinate me. I don't see any difference. The only difference between the mafia and the government is the government has a better enforcement system. That's it.
The government.
They do the same thing.
Just bigger.
They tax you where you live. It's exactly, the mafia is just the government is just a legal mafia. Same thing. You got the head guy, you got capos, you got other people. It's crazy.
It's impressive for sure. The levels in that are something else.
All right, we're heading out.
Did we go over everything?
Of course not. It's an hour 45 minutes. Look, I put enough stuff in here to get us to the end, and I try to do the best stuff that we have up front. And if we run out of stuff, I've got other stuff in here too. We did elevator stories, so we knocked off a few stories.
I like the elevator stories.
I'm glad you did.
I do.
All right. Are we done yet?
Are we done with this bit?
Are we done with this bit?
I think we could be.
All right.
Any big weekend plans for you, Jamingo?
Of course not.
No football this weekend, so.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to. You know me. I'm a big fan of crock pot cooking.
Yes.
The problem is I've got an 8-quart crock pot. So when I make stuff in the 8-quart crock pot, I can't. It's just me eating this, and I don't want to do that.
Freeze it.
Huh?
Freeze it.
I don't want to freeze it because it doesn't taste the same. I've tried this. I've tried freezing Jamingo stew. It comes out. It's got a weird taste to it, and the chicken noodle soup didn't taste as good as it did when I was.
The noodles get mushy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about getting
smaller crock pot.
Yeah, either a 3 or 4-quart crock pot.
Perfect.
And learning how to make smaller 1-person, 1 crock pot meal. That's what I'm into right now. Can I downsize my Jamingo stew and all that stuff to make it smaller, where I can make enough where I can have it like 2 nights that week and then eat that and then on Saturday do the cooking and then have it for the week. Because here's the other thing. I don't know how women, when they're hungry, cook dinner, why they're hungry, get it ready, and then put it at I can't do that. Like, I'm angry when I'm hungry and I'm trying to cook.
Hangry, yes.
Fucking taking too long. I gotta fucking stir this shit.
Because you wait too long. Because if you wait till you're fucking starving, then it's like everything takes forever. If you know you have to cook dinner, the thing is you eat like 1 meal a day or something. Like you don't.
The other night I made chicken nuggets and tater tots in the air fryer. It's 15 minutes. I'm sitting there. 15 minutes. I want it now. I want to be able to pull it out, throw it in the microwave, heat it up to 3 minutes, and be done with it. So that's what I'm looking for right now.
Microwave nuggies.
Steel, crock pot things that you can make for 1 person. So that's what I'm into.
I think you could. Do it. Do you have an idea, like, kind of how you make like your stew or whatever? Just
I want a
less
chicken.
of it.
Yeah, I want like a chicken something, and then I want like a beef something, and then like some kind of soup something. Especially, well, I always say the wintertime. Soup is winter salad. Who wants to eat a salad in the wintertime? Soup. Soup is like winter salad. That's my thing. Anybody come up with a title yet? Is any our audience lazy?
No, they're all like saying goodbye. They're all done.
See?
Oh, here we go. So Lisa came up with on pupillary pivots with the Duchess. Eye rolls. Eye rolls.
Oh,
I get it. I get it. I get it.
All right, I'll get that one down.
I got you, Lisa. I got you, girl.
Listen, you have to have a title that I can understand. I don't have to go.
Yeah, it's too many. It's too many letters for John. Yeah. And syllables, and it's good times.
All right, we're out of here. I'm not
We're
even
done. Scroll. No.
Let's just go. Get out of here. Bye, everybody.
Bye.